Drogheda in County Louth, which of course is known as Ireland's smallest county, or the wee county. But it is a county that has a wealth of traditional songs, and it's a wealth that Sean is going to demonstrate to us here tonight. But more about that later. In the tradition of the club, we're going to start with a ceist. And the question, today I was at the funeral of our good friend Pat Good, may rest in peace. And he was known to many of us here for his singing, songwriting and his comic wit, and as well as being an accompanist to the late Jimmy Kelly. At the service, Francis Black sang as a parting glass song, When First We Met. I want to know, who wrote this wonderful song? Now, Jerry O'Reilly's not allowed to answer. So, if anybody knows who wrote When First We Met? He did. He was one of the people who promoted the song. He sang it. Yes. Okay, we'll move on. If anyone, no looking at phones, of course. There we are. Anyway, our first singer in the tradition of the club, Maureen Crony will start, and of course later in the night Maureen will finish the show. Maureen.
Nur is fein maten gemach, eva de matse voorwees, kiki en goed maakt storm of rie, is der chief fein gevonden. Maar de wisje shoot as dark is down, is lekken maar nerosi, nor a dashke si god lulam free, shed or chi come into it honey. As I roamed out to view the plain, one summer's morning early, who should I spy but a pretty fair maid, and she dressed up so neatly. Her cherry cheeks and ruby lips, her eyes would dazzle the daisies. When I took this fair maid by the hand, she said, young man, go easy. Maar is trouw door misje gevond er begeerd, maar is maasegem voorzien, is mop haar grief de rouse vein, kan bevetijn naar jonten. Maar de winning fair in hielter knek, de yen hing kruik knows the king, the rinking reland, a storm of ree, ruach no kaliger upon it. For I am a plough by the sea for to sow, and that is well known to my neighbours. 'Tis many's the field that I did plough, and that without much labour. For I'd plough and sow, both reap and mow, and I'd gather it into your garden. I'd sweep the floor, and I'd dance with you on the banks of Cardigan. Dolling falling glitchidog, Madamach nach led kidoige, Hamach is a gum me halum, gone out to fend the Barnum. O glessig Susa o Girland, is glúisnam hain haar sáile, is trá míad na cuanta dain, ó ruach na caidige bána. I would spread my mantle for you, young man, if 'twas only the breadth of a farthing. If I thought your mind was as good as your word, of course 'tis you I'd rather. Awake, arise, my laboring by, and come with me in the morning, and we will plough the briny waves from the banks of Caidiga Bonnet.
Thank you, Maura. Our next singer will be Fergus Russell, and he will be followed with Papwork.
Thanks, Frank. Good to see us all. If we can get me Kay, I'll sing this one right. Oh, Pat Rainey's me name, I'm a travelling man. I'll mend your old pots, I'll make you a can. I'm prince among nomads, the king of me clan. Day. I travels the road with me ass and me dog. There's game in the fields and there's turf in the bog. I sing like a lark as along we do jog. Day. I camps by the river, I catches a fish. I always a plenty to put in me dish. Me brogues I can mend, me shirt I can stitch. Day. I gathers me pipes and I heads for the town. I finds a good pitch, I set myself down. I squeeze on the bellows, the throng gather round. Day. I plays Mrs. MacLeod and the wind in the gap. It pleases the crowd while they dance and they clap. And many bright shillings they put in me cap. Day. I'm fond of a glass, I think it no crime. I sit in the sheeping mid comrades sublime. I'll dance till the dawn, I'm not slave to time. Day. Now the housewife each night slips down from the farm. Her husband is cowled, but I am quite warm. And here in me tent she'll come to no harm. Day. When winter comes on, for fear of the damp, I'll whistle me dog down the road we will tramp. And the housewife will sigh when she sees we've broke camp. Day. When springtime it blossoms, I'll pass by this way. I'll boil up me billy, I'll make me some tea, and I'll check if the buffer has one on the way. Day. Pat Rainey's me name, I'm a travelling man. I'll mend your old pots, I'll make you a can. I'm prince among nomads, the king of me clan. Fal da la 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 day. Ah, fal da la la la, fal da la la la, fal da la 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 day. Thank you. Come on, Pat.
I need to sit down, I'm afraid. This is to make life difficult for you. Right. You ready to go? I'm a simple boy, just landed now from the town of Ballyfand. I want a situation and I want it mighty bad. A position I saw advertised, 'tis just the thing, says I, but the dirty spalpeen ended with, no Irish need apply. Oh, says I, but that's an insult, to get this place I'll try. I went out to seek this blackguard with his, no Irish need apply. Some may deem it a misfortune to be christened Pat or Dan, but to me it is an honour to be born an Irishman. Well, I set about to find this man. I found him mighty soon. He was seated in the corner and he was reading the Tribune. I told him what I came for. He in a rage did fly. Says he, you are a paddy and no Irish need apply. Well, that got me danderizing. I'd like to black his eye to tell a decent Irishman no Irish need apply. Some may deem it a misfortune now to be christened Pat or Dan, but to me it is an honour to be born an Irishman. Well, I could no longer stand it then, and a hold of him I took, and gave him such a bating as he'd taken Donnybrook. He hollered me a murder, and to get away did try, and swore he'd never write again, no Irish need apply. Oh, he made a big apology, I bade him then goodbye, saying when next you want a baiting, write, no Irish need apply. Some may deem it a misfortune now to be christened Pat or Dan, but to me it is an honour to be born an Irishman. Now in America I always heard that it was the plan. An Irishman is just as good as any other man. Home or hospitality they never would deny. To decent folks so never right, no Irish need apply. Ah, but some black sheep are in the flock, a dirty lot, says I. A decent man would never write, no Irish need apply. Some may deem it a misfortune now to be christened Pat or Dan, but to me it is an honour to be born an Irishman. Now old Ireland on the battlefield a lasting fame has gained. You all have heard of Maher's men and Corcoran's brigade. Though fools may flout and bigots rage, fanatics they may fly. When they want good fighting men, the Irish they apply. And when for freedom and for right, they hear the battle cry, those rebel ranks they'll surely know, the Irish did apply. Some may deem it a misfortune now to be christened Pat or Dan, but to me it is an honour to be born an Irishman. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pat. Our next three singers are Jerry O'Reilly, followed by Rosie Davis and Tom Finn.
That's great. Thanks, Frank. We have the Frank Hart Festival coming up now in September, and one of the guests is a man called Mick Maloney, and he's actually going to give a talk about the songs of Harrigan, Hart and Bram. And I think, unless I'm mistaken, that song that Pat has just sang was written by Ned Harrigan. Anniversaries.
This is the 24th of June. So on the 27th of June, 12 years ago, we lost Frank Hart. So I thought I'd just sing this song. Robbie McMahon wrote this song. Robbie O'Connor wrote this song. I was looking at Robbie McMahon on television, on the internet today. Robbie O'Connor wrote the song called The Keeper of the Songs. There's a nice chorus, maybe you pick it up. Though his voice rings out no more, his words still linger on. Those in power write the history, those who suffer write the songs. That once brash voice is silent now. No more we'll hear it soar, to call us back to Dublin streets, or Napoleon's cruel war, to feel again the nation's pride, when our heroes made a stand, or the sorrows of our countrymen, when great hunger gripped the land. And though his voice rings out no more, his words still linger on. Those in power write the history, those who suffer write the songs. It was on the streets of Boyle one day, he heard a tinker's song of those heroes bold in Knockanure, who bitterly were wronged. His life would never be the same from that fateful moment on, for he realised he'd learned the truth in the verses of a song. And though his voice rings out no more, his words still linger on. Those in power write the history, those who suffer write the songs. For the voices of his people and the stories that they told, he cherished like a wealthy man, might treasure bars of gold. The songs like ghosts that long endured, through centuries now gone, were proudly given voice once more by the keeper of the songs. And though his voice rings out no more, his words still linger on. Those in power write the history, those who suffer write the songs. For the store of songs he left us, we treasure to this day, and the memory of that gallant man will never fade away. For he taught us the great value of traditions long passed on. That's the legacy of Frank Hart, the keeper of the songs. And though his voice rings out no more, his words still linger on. Those in power write the history, those who suffer write the songs. Frank Hart, thank you.
North Stoke miners' wives who put on a show to raise money for their husbands so they could stay on strike. It's a very frightening thing to do. So it's got a bit of go in it, so no going back. The world is turning, changing with the seasons of the year. Flowers grow where once the earth was cold and bare. Streams feed the rivers, rivers feed the sea, and the strength of my friends will feed the change in me. And there is no going back, we're too deep in it now. No going back, there is no limit now. No going back, you struck the women now. No going back. Since the miners' strike has ended, a new life has begun. We're different women after all we've seen and done. We've learned the world's divided and we have made our choice. We may have lost the battle, but we found a voice. And there is no going back, we're too deep in it now. No going back, there is no limit now. No going back, you struck the women now. No going back. Life's hard if you're a worker, it's harder if you're black, it's harder if you're old or poor or get the sack. It's harder for a woman when she tries to say that she doesn't think the kitchen sink is where she'll stay, for there is no going back. We're too deep in it now. No going back. There is no limit now. No going back. You struck the women now. No going back. Some families deny it. Some families understand that a woman's rights are equal to the rights of man. So if you call me sister when I joined your picket line, better be there with me, brother, when I fight for mine, for there is no going back. We're too deep in it now. No going back. There is no limit now. No going back. You struck the women now. No going back. Alone I'm going nowhere, but with friends here at my side, we'll face the bitter future and the storm we'll ride. We'll finish what we started, go on as we begin, with only chains to lose and all the world to win, for there is no going back. We're too deep in it now. No going back. There is no limit now. No going back. You struck the women now. No going back. Thanks. Thanks all the women. Thank you.
You good to go? Right, this is a song written by a Scotsman about sometime around the 1850s, 1860s, about in praise of the great city of Mullingar. It must have been a mighty city back in those days. You may strain your muscles to brag of Brussels, of London, Paris, or Timbuktu, Constantinople or Sebastopol, Vienna, Naples, or Tonga, Tapu, of Copenhagen, Madrid, Kilbeggan, or the capital of the Russian Tsar. But they're all inferior to the vast, superior, and gorgeous city of Mullingar. That fair metropolis, so great and populous, adorns the regions of sweet Westmeath, that fertile county which nature's bounty has richly gifted with bog and heath. Them scenes so charmin' where snipes a swarmin' attract the sportsman who comes from far, and whoever wishes may catch fine fishes in deep Loch Owl near Mullingar. I could stray forever by Brasna's river and watch its waters in the sparkling fall, and the ganders swimmin' and lightly skimmin' o'er the crystal bosom of the Royal Canal. Or on Thursday's wander mid pigs so tender, and geese and turkeys on many a car, exchanging pleasantry with the fine bold peasantry that throng the market at Mullingar. Ye nine inspire me, and with the rapture fire me, to sing the buildings both old and new, the majestic courthouse and the spacious workhouse, and the church and steeple which adorn the view. Then there's barracks airy for the military, where the brave repose from the toils of war. 5 schools, a nunnery, and a thriving tannery in the gorgeous city of Mullingar. The railway station with admiration I next must mention in terms of praise, where trains are rowling and engines howling strike each beholder with wild amaze. And then there's Main Street, that broad and plain street, with its rows of gas lamps that shine afar. I could spake a lecture on the architecture of the gorgeous city of Mullingar. The men of genius contemporaneous approach spontaneous this favoured spot, where great society and great variety of entertainment is still their lot. Then neighbouring quality for hospitality and conviviality unequalled are, and from December until November there's still diversion in a Mullingar. Now, in conclusion, I make allusion to the beauteous females that here abound, celestial creatures with the lovely features and tapered ankles that skim the ground. But this suspends me, the theme transcends me, my muse's powers are too weak by far. It would take Catullus, likewise Tibullus, to sing the beauties of a Mullingar.
Our next three singers are Dave O'Connor. We're going to the North County, and then Ruth Campbell is going to sing for us from Drogheda, and Frank Spears then because he's Holt. So it's a north side bent to the next three singers.
It's the Willie Week, starting next weekend. And this is a song that Willie used to sing. It was sung up around Lusk as well in our county. I'm a poor unlucky married man. I have an awful wife, and though I do everything she says, yet still she plagues my life. Though I do everything that's right, she will find a fault somehow. But if I try to slip out that night, there is sure to be a row. There's sure to be a row. There is sure to be a row. Do all you like for to please your wife, but there's sure to be a row. She wakes me every morning in such a cruel way. She kicks me out upon the floor, not a cross word do I say. She makes me wash my shirts and socks, my shorts and vest, and I vow that if I don't wash hers as well, there is sure to be a row. There's sure to be a row. There is sure to be a row. Do all you like for to please your wife, but there's sure to be a row. She is taken in a lodger, and he's single by the by. She says she must make room for him, and it's I on the sofa lie. They eat the meat, leave me the bones, that don't seem right somehow. But if I leave for to say one word, there is sure to be a row. There's sure to be a row. There is sure to be a row. Do all you like for to please your wife, but there's sure to be a row. I hand her up my wages after working every week. I give her every penny, and it's then that she has the cheek to give me tuppence for myself, and that I vow that if I spend it all at once, there is sure to be a row. There's sure to be a row. There is sure to be a row. Do all you like for to please your wife, but there's sure to be a row.
This is written by Pádraig Ní Húlahan, another good Louth woman. Tá sé chuoinú sa gleann, sa gleann. Tá sé chuoinú I neann anio. Fuair an ia sa gleann, sa gleann. Fuair an ia I neann anio. Tá ga láimh mo lean an. Tá ga láimh mo lean an fuair. Tá ga láimh mo lean an. Tá Tá ma grasa sa gleann, sa gleann. Tá ma grasa I leann anio. Dúmh an ia sa gleann, sa gleann. Dúmh an ia I leann anio. Tá ga láimh mo lean an. Tá ga láimh mo lean an fuair. Tá ga láimh mo lean an. Tá an crí a réibú sa gleann, sa gleann. An crí a réibú I leann anio. Ceol squé sa gleann, sa gleann. Ceol squé I leann anio. Tá ga láimh mo lean an. Tá ga láimh mo lean an fuair. Tá ga láimh mo lean an. Tá ga láimh mo lean an fuair. Tá sé chuoinú sa gleann, sa gleann. Tá sé chuoinú I leann anio.
Is that on? Is that on? Okay. I wasn't expecting to be recorded down here the night, Now, I have family background in the northeast of Scotland, although I've lived in Ireland over 40 years. So I can always relate back to the family and the songs and the fishing when they used to sail from Fraserburgh and Buckie over to Killybegs and up to Yarmouth and Stornoway and all the different areas. So I'm going to do one of the songs I used to, or albums I loved, was Ewan McCall's recording of the radio ballads and one called Singing the Fishing. And I always kind of come back to that because it mentions all the places where I have family background. Come on, ye fishing lassies, aye, and come awa with me, fe Cairnboger Gamry, fe Inveralachy, fe Buckie or fe Aberdeen, and a' the country run, where a watty got the herring, where a watty the Yarmouth tune. Rise up in the morning with your bundles in your hand, be at the station early, or you'll surely hate to stand. Take plenty to eat, or a kettle for your tea, or you'll maybe die of hunger on the way to the Yarmouth Quay. The journey it's a lang yin, it takes a day or twa, and when you reach your lodging, sure it's soon to sleep ye fa. But you rise at 5, where the sleep still in your in, you're a watty got the herring, you're a watty the Yarmouth tune. Well, there's coopers there and curers there, buyers canny choose, and lassies at the pickling, and others at the crews, and you wish the fish had been all left in the sea by the time you finish cotton herring on the Yarmouth Quay. We've got it fish in Lerwick, Stornoway and Shields. I worked along the harbour amongst the barrows and the creels. Whitby, Grimsby, we've travelled up and down, but the place to see the herring is the quay at Yarmouth Town. Come a ye fisher lassies, aye, and come awa with me, fe Cairnboger Gamry, fe Inveralachy, fe Buckie or fe Aberdeen, and a' the country run, where a watty got the herring, where a watty the Yarmouth Town. Oh. Very much, thank you. Okay. That's great. Thanks very much. Great to hear that.
County Louth has given us many great singers in recent years. The late Finbar Boyle, Sean Corcoran come to mind, and nowadays we know Donald McGuire, Jerry Cullen, Stuart Carlin. Are people I would personally know, so it's in that a contemporary of all of those people, of course, is Sean Faulkner, who's our guest tonight. And they say that all politics are local. Well, the same can be said for the great songs in our tradition. One thinks of the boys of Barnatroida, Dunlavin Green, Annach Cuan, the Connerys. All these songs are about local events, written by local people. Sean Faulkner has devoted his attention in recent years to the songs of his local county and where he has served his apprenticeship as a singer. So welcome Sean Faulkner.
Thanks very much, Frank. I think with a bit of indulgence from Frank, we'll go to the locality of New Zealand for the fourth song, which tells about an activity that if Frank had been born maybe 200 years earlier, he might have engaged in. Oh, me name is Davy Louston, I did sail. Me name is Davy Louston, I did sail. My men and I were lost, their very lives it did cost. They did sail, they did sail, they did sail. 'Twas in 1810 we set sail, we set sail. 'Twas 1810 we did set sail. We were set down the gallant men, some never for to sail again. We did sail, we did sail, we did sail. And our Captain Johnny Badder sailed away, sailed away. Our Captain Johnny Badder sailed away. I'll return then without fail, but he floundered in the gale. He went down, he went down, he went down. And we cured 10,000 skins for the fur, for the fur. We cured 10,000 skins for the fur. But brackish water, putrid seals, we did all of us fall ill. Some to die, some to die, some for to die. So come all you boys who sail upon the sea, on the sea. Come all you tars who sail upon the sea. Though the schooner General Blythe rescued some before they died, never sail, never sail, never sail. And come all you boys who sail upon the sea, on the sea. Come all you boys who sail upon the sea, where the icebergs tower high. 'Tis a pitiful place to die. Never sail, never sail, never sail. Okay, that was David Elton. Bit of a struggle for the first one, but the song is local in the sense that I heard it from Martin Carty and Davy Swarbrick LP that was played out of existence in Carberry's back kitchen. Was probably brought home from London by Jerry Cullen or Frank Mooney or somebody like that who was working in walls for the summer. And you know, got the songs and came back with all these wonderful songs, new songs. And that's where I learned that. Next song is a bit more local, and John Shields, that some of you from this parish will know, wrote an enormous number of kind of local songs. Over 300, Jerry Cullen says, and probably still counting at that. An important figure in writing songs in the early 1800s, right through the middle of the 1800s. And he died in 1872 on the 6th day of July. It's his 150th anniversary next week, and we'll sing a few songs for him in Drogheda. Dave sings a few of his songs. Jerry Cullen sings his songs. Carol Ann and Ruth. I was looking at a photograph of Luke Cheevers, you know, today, and Luke had one of his songs. So one of our current missions is to get more people to sing John Shields songs. So this is a song he wrote about Drogheda. It's a long song, so maybe we might not sing it all. But it's typical of the songs that he would have written. I suppose a big part of Shields and his writing songs was a vehicle for himself to display his own vocabulary, his understanding of the classics, and all of that. So this song, I think, represents a bit of that. We'll see can we get a more suitable key for that than the last one. Attend all young lovers who have felt Cupid's arrow, lend ear and with me sympathize. A matchless young maiden has caused me some sorrow. Alas, I may never be wise. This beautiful phoenix I hold in esteem. I prize her far more than the fair Grecian queens. She is the flower of our country, sweet air in the green, and she is the flower of sweet Drogheda, you know. The first time I saw this beautiful creature, I stood and I gazed with delight. I really considered her an ornament of nature. Her brilliancy dazzled my sight. And by the side of Ball's Grove, on the banks of the Boyne, I spied lovely Kitty, who has me entwined. I wander up and down like a man in decline, for the flower of sweet Drogheda, you know. To give an account of her many perfections, it would trouble the great Homer's a quill. For her beauty and nature would stand the inspection of the great philosopher's skill. And if the celebrated Newton he could but her see, with Locke, Pope, and Virgil, they'd surely all agree. For to praise this fair maid who has near ruined me, the flower of sweet Drogheda, you know. But oh, and alas, I am doomed for to mourn, and there is none to release me from pain. My poor broken heart does perpetually burn, consumed in love's killing flame. and sweet lovely Kitty, for whom I'd expire, she has fanned the sad flames of my tormenting fire. For to keep and protect her is all that I require, but she has proved me sad overthrow. A couple of years ago I was talking to a local historian about a song that Faulkner sings called The Bold Trainer, and he sent me on a broadsheet of it, and I asked him to tell me a little bit about it, and he said he didn't know. He thought he got this song up in Monaghan. A couple of months later anyway, he popped me a line and says, "Here you are, Sean," and he appended an article. And it was an article from the Louth Archaeological Journal in 1907. And there was a man there called Morris who was a regular contributor to the journal. And he was commenting on a collection of songs that were in the Royal Irish Academy, you know. And they were collected, you know, by Ernest Reginald McClintock Dix, who's known in this parish by Julian. And an avid collector collected about 6,000 pieces of printed material. Not terribly worried, you know, about what was, you know, on the pages. Most of his stuff is deposited in the National Library, but in the Royal Irish Academy, he deposited 2 books, you know, and there are about 123 songs, you know, broadsheets. There's also about 40 or 50 chapbooks that he has there. All of the stuff has been kind of catalogued but not digitised, so you get the titles of the stuff but you won't get the kind of content of it there. In the article in the Louth Archaeological Journal, the guy who was writing, Mr. Morris, was mainly concerned with what he called local songs, which were north of Dublin up to kind of Oriel, you know, South Down, South Armagh and places like that. Now in that collection there are a lot of I suppose common, you know, ballad sheets. You get them on many collections. There is a small number that are difficult to find, and there's a smaller number that are probably, you know, very, very difficult to find. And some of them I haven't been able to find, you know, in any other collections, you know. So this is one of these songs, and it concerns an actual event about, you know, as it's called in the song, the good ship Newry, that sank off Carnarvon Bay in 1830. Most of the stuff that McClintock Dix has in the Royal Irish Academy, the sheets, you know, and the books are from a period about 1810 to about 1840. As best, I'm not an academic, but as best as I can ascertain, the songs are from that kind of period, and this is one of those songs. We'll get there. Attend you honest parents, and listen here unto my sad tale. With a heavy heart and a troubled mind, I will relate to you the same. That's a wrong song I'm after starting, so I'll keep going with this song. Again, it's from his collection. It's roughly the same melody, so we'll keep going with it. Attend you honest parents, and listen here unto my sad tale. With a heavy heart and a troubled mind, I will relate to you the same. My dying declaration, I hope it will a warning be. to the rising generation for to keep them from the gallows tree. Bernard McCann, it is me name, and the truth of that I'll ne'er deny. In Newton Hamilton I was born, and reared by parents tenderly, to give me good education. The greatest care and pains they took unto me condemnation. The path of virtue I forsook. In Castleblaney I was bound an apprentice to the baking trade, with Patrick Quigley where faithfully me time was spent in honest ways. Then I went on to Dromore, that lies within the county down, where employment there I did seek, as a journeyman with Adam Sloan. The maze races coming on, for recreation I was inclined, and with the giddy multitudes I ran. No hurt nor harm was in my mind. On the 20th day of July, my money it been all gone, and intoxicated as from the races, 'tis then that I did journey home, where I waylaid on McAdam for to murder him I did intend, and to rob him of his money, which has brought me to this shameful end. After this dreadful deed, his body into the canal I threw, and to the town of Galway my course I straightway did pursue. There I changed me name to Hughes, hoping justice to escape thereby. But the ever-seeing Providence, he would not let that murder die. In Galway I got married, and I spent 10 years all in that town. I had 23 acres of free land, and savings of £500. In the midst of all me splendour, I ne'er enjoyed peace or content, till I was apprehended, and then to Downpatrick I was sent. At 29 years of age, I now have to resign my life, and leave behind me to bewail 5 children and a loving wife. May the Lord have mercy upon me, a poor and a wretched man. And whoever reads these verses, say a prayer for Bernard McCann. That's the story. story. It's as interesting, you know, as the song I set out to sing. But that song, as I say, narrates, I suppose, part of the life of Bernard McCann. He's featured in 100 great murder trials. In 1813, he killed that man where a waylaid Owen McAdam up outside Lisburn, threw his body into the canal, robbed his money, absconded to Galway. 10 years later in Galway, someone from his locality recognised him in Galway, you know, and approached him and accosted him about the crime. Denied it. The person who recognised him persisted and eventually, you know, convinced the mayor in Galway at the time to contact the people in Downpatrick. It was the assizes in Downpatrick at the time, and he was sent back. The reports of the incident will say that the judge, you know, in addressing the jury, indicated that the evidence was very flimsy. It was 10 years, you know, ago, and so said to the jury. They came back in less than an hour, you know, and convicted him, and he was hung the next day. So 10 years, you know, after committing the crime, he's hung up there. So that's Bernard McCann. I'll get to the Newry one next half. It's just the two opening lines are very, very similar, and this is a big challenge for me here tonight, I'd have to say. So you might have to bear with me, you know, at parts of it. Having gone through, you know, that. I'll revert to another song, you know, from this collection of McClintock Dicks, and it's a song of place, and again, it's about, you know, Southdown area, Dromore, a place called Warringford. You muses nine, I pray, assist me, and be not absent until I relate a verse or two, then I'll bid adieu. It is concerning a most lovely sea. If you would inquire, he was a squire who did possess this most lovely ground. You may search all Europe, but be well assured there is no such beauty there to be found. The situation I mean to mention lies near Dromore in the county town, and Warringford is the name they call it, but cruel fortune on it did frown. Banished from it this worthy squire, his name was Knox, you may understand. His fortune failed away, he said, and he took his station to a foreign land. If he would return to see these buildings, he would be sorry for to see their form, for they are deserted and turned to ruin, as if being torn by a mighty storm. Some years ago, neither grief nor woe was to be seen in the faces here, and the hounds and horns were heard each morn, all in the autumn of every year. To see the gardens, they look so charming, when to be seen in the month of June. You would see the fruit on the walls in clusters, and the lovely flowers when all in bloom. And if you did enter into the centre, these lovely flowers, they're all in your view. The red, red roses and the daisies, and the pretty violets a bonny blue. Near these buildings is a place for bathing, where the ladies sport with mirth and pride. And beside this house is a luge of water, the lovely plantings all too divine. The ducks and mallards are seen in swarms, and the little fishes they do sport and play. And on its banks of a summer's evening, the lords and ladies they appear full gay. Along the banks tall trees are growing, their tops they sing for to sweep the skies. And the little songbirds they sing melodious, delighting travellers as they pass by. But with vexation and in lamentation, the ancient tenants there, they know their doom. For since their squire he did retire, they have got a bailiff now sat in his room. So to conclude my lamentations, and for to finish this mournful song, we will live in hope and expectations, for to see young Knox before too long. For it would give pleasure beyond all measure, for to see young Knox upon the Irish shore, for to repair these ruined buildings, and its former glories all to restore. Okay, we might finish off this session, if that's okay, with again another song from what I think is a wonderful selection of songs from McClintock Dix. I haven't been able to find an awful lot about this song other than the narrative in it. On the broadsheet there's a handwritten note, that the event took place in Dundalk. It mentions, as it says in the handwritten note, 2 peelers. The names are a bit difficult to, I suppose, decipher. But I put 2 names into it, that I think kind of goes along with it. Probably a song, I think, written from the time maybe of the Brunswick kind of campaigns, maybe in the late 1820s. I like singing the song, probably shorter verse, kind of towards the end, but I think that doesn't detract from the song in my view. So here's another song collected by McClintock Dix. By a pleasant glade, as for pleasure I stray, one clear dewy evening in spring. The trees green were budding, young lambkins were playing, and the birds did melodiously sing. By a bank of daisies a fair maid I spied, the flowers at her feet by her tears they were dyed. Alas, are ye gone, my dear Jamie, she cried, from your Ellen and there in the green. I modestly asked her the cause of her sorrows, and these words unto me she did say. My tears do fall down for James Carraher's a murder, in the flower of his youth turn away. No man had he injured, no harm had he done, and of riots and the quarrels he always did shun. Oh, but hard was the fate of that poor widow's son, who was murdered in Erin the Green. He being a man of upright behaviour, with fervour he loved all mankind, and that spirit of party, the scourge of our nation, never entered James Carraher's mind. But because he supported the church, that is true, and he feared not the purple, nor orange, nor the blue, magnanimity that night he pierced his heart true, and his blood spilt in Erin the Green. As he lay on the ground, his Rengor was dreaming, his lily white hands they did stain. And at base Sergeant Levins he used the expression that he well deserved to be slain. His mother lamented both sadly and sore, as homeward his poor bleeding body they bore, saying, I will wander this earth, since my Jamie's no more, and bid farewell to Erin the Green. But if he had belonged to that murderous faction that has banished content from our strand, his murderers they would have been brought but the justice at trial in Dundalk where they'd stand. Self-defence, said the judge, of the verdict I'm sure, but all knew that the peelers both perjury swore. Still James Carraher's soul for mercy does roar, for his blood spilled in Erin and green. Thanks very much.
Just going to call 3 more singers before the break. Tony Fitzpatrick will give us a song, and then Alison, and maybe Mary O'Connor, you give us a song? Yeah. So, thank you.
Haven't maybe you wound up yet when I'm sing. Try this anyway. Where have you been the whole day long? Son, come tell it unto me. I've been fishing and fowling the whole day long of her mother's treachery. Oh, for mother's treachery. What put the blood on your right shoulder? Son, come tell it unto me. It's the blood of a hare that I killed today, and I killed the right man fully. Oh, I killed right man fully. For the blood of the old hare, it never was so red. Son, come tell it unto me. It's the blood of a boy that I killed today, and I killed the right man fully. Oh, I killed right man fully. What came between yourself and the boy? Son, come tell it unto me. It was mostly the cutting of a rod that will never come a tree. Oh, will never become a tree. What are you going to do when your daddy finds you out? Son, come tell it unto me. I will put my foot on board of a ship and sail to a foreign country. Oh, I'll sail to a foreign country. What are you going to do with your darling young wife? Son, come tell it unto me. Well, she can put her foot on board of a ship and sail on after me. Oh, she can sail on after me. And what are you going to do with your 2 fine young babes? Son, come tell it unto me. I'll give one to me father and the other to me mother, for to bear them company. Oh, to bear them company. And what are you going to do with your two fine horses? Son, come tell it unto me. I will take the bridle all off of their necks. They'll hunt no more for me. Oh, they'll hunt no more for me. And what are you going to do with your two greyhounds? Son, come tell it unto me. I will take the leashes all off of their necks. They'll race no more for me. Oh, they'll race no more for me. What are you going to do with your two fine houses? Son, come tell it unto me. I will lay them bare to the birds of the air, for there's no more welcome there for me. Oh, there's no more welcome there for me. And what are you going to do in the winter of your life? Son, come tell it unto me. Oh, like a sagging in the loch, I will bow in the wind, and I'll beg for God's mercy. Oh, I'll beg for God's mercy.
The Moorlock Shore. Your hills and dales and flowery vales that lie near the Moorlock Shore. Your vines that grow by Borden's grove, will I ever see you more? Where the primrose grow and the violets grow, where the trout and salmon play. With line I took delight, I took to spend my youthful days. Last night I went to see my love, and to hear what she might say, and to see if she had pity on me, lest I might go away. She said, I've loved an Irish lad, and here was my only joy. And ever since I saw his face, well, I've loved that Irish boy. Well, perhaps your Irish lad, he's lost, or sailing over the main. Or perhaps he has gone to some other one. You may never see him again. Well, if my Irish lad is lost, he's the one I do adore. And 7 years I will wait for him by the banks of the Moorlock Shore. Farewell to Sinclair's castle ground, farewell to the foggy dew, where the linen web lies leaching seal still, and the purling stream runs still. Neither I spent my youthful days, but alas, they are no more. For cruelty has banished me far away from the Moloch shore, far away from the Moloch shore.
Thank you. Well, this is a Ger Wolfe song, Summer at My Feet. I watch the city growing dark and wonder where April threw her blossoms at my feet. The morning tore the flowing dark asunder, and I awoke with summer at my feet. The seagulls sang the chorus of our laughter. The waves came filling every footprint deep. We took our cares and fired them in the water, and slowly sang the tired sun to sleep. My love, he brings me buttercups and roses, the ladybird of summer on his knee. His eyes are bright and wondrous as the ocean, and I swim deep as love can be.
Lovely, Mary. We're just going to have a break now for about 10 minutes, and we'll be back shortly after that. Thank you. You're all enjoying yourselves too much. Quieten down now so we can hear a few more singers. We're going to start back with another great voice from County Louth. And then we're going to be followed by Nellie Weldon and Brian O'Tuman. Jerry Cullen. Sorry, Jerry Cullen.
I'm going to leave all the drama talking to Sean. This is, I'll give a lash of the bell Doherty from Mary Ann Carlin. So jump in. My name is Bo Doherty from the North Country, where there's a still upon every stream. Landlady, be quicker and bring us some liquor, and fill us a pitcher that's stronger than cream. If I had you, Molly, so gentle and jolly, although it's a folly to ask you at all, Or if I had a glass with a mile to the bottom, I'd drink to you, Molly, beside Donegal with me. Fall the don da, fall the don daddle dee, fall the don daddle dee, fall the don day. I'd a grand pair of brogues I took home from the market. I wanted an excuse to get into the town. So I told me old mother the seams they were laking, and I wanted some nails to rivet them round. She clothed me fist with a bright British shilling, and says the remainder it may be your own. But if you go to town you may take a full nagging, but beware to bring none of your fanciables home with me. Fall the dol da, fall the dol daddle dee, fall the dol daddle dee, fall the dol day. While crossing the hills of me brave Enniskillen, I went into an alehouse for to take a dram. There I saw two tinkers dividing a saucepan, although they were arguing about a tin can. And one of them there drew a clout at the other, and says, "You old villain, I will take your life. For your saucepans are leaking, and they won't howl the water, since ever Beldarty spoke to your wife with me. Fall the dol da, fall the dol daddle dee, fall the dol daddle dee, fall the dol day." And it's when I got home, sure the door it was bolted, I wrapped up me mother for to let me in. Be gone to the place where the words that she mentioned, for inside this door you'll not venture in. And you may go away to wherever you came from, for to keep you out, well, I'm sure 'tis no sin. Well, says I, me gay woman, you may hold your temper, for I can get lodgings with Nora Madlin with me. Fall the dol da, fall the dol daddle dee, fall the dol daddle dee, fall the dol day with me. Fall the dol da, fall the dol daddle dee, fall the dol daddle dee, fall the dol day.
Near to Waterford's own town, it was there all on the green grass, my own love and I sat down. It was there all on the green grass, we did roll in sport and in play. But my mind is discontented since my Jemmy's gone away. I knocked at my love's window 3 long hours before the dawn, saying, "Rise up, lovely Jemmy, and with me come along. I have no old clothing, but these old clothes I have on. Will you rise up, lovely Jemmy, for the wee cock crows the dawn. I have no gold in my pocket, pockets, nor no silver in my purse. When my baby is born, I cannot hire him a nurse. When my baby is born, I will dance him on my knee. I will tell the lonesome story of my own lost love, Jemmy. Now some say that he's a sailor, and he may never more return. Others say that he's in prison for some cruel crime he has done. Let them all talk all about him, and let them say as they will. While there is breath in my body, I will love my own love still. Sinead.
What's the light machine going to get?
It was on a fair and a pleasant day, out of Yarmouth Harbour I was bearing, as a cabin boy on a sailing lugger, for to hunt the bonny shoals of herring. Oh, the work was hard and the hours were long, and the treatment sure it took some bearing. There was little kindness and the kicks were many, as we hunted for the shoals of herring. Oh, we fished the swart and the broken bank. I was a cook and I'd a quarter sharing, and I used to sleep standing on me feet, and I dream about the shoals of herring. Oh, we left the home grounds in the month of June, and to Kenny Shields we soon was bearing, with 100 cran of the silver darlings that we taken from the shoals of herring. Now you're up on deck, you're a fisherman, you can swear and show a manly bearing. Take your turn on deck with the other fellows, as you're hunting for the shoals of herring. In the stormy seas and the living gales, just to earn your daily bread you're daring. From the Dover Straits to the Faroe Islands, as you're following the shoals of herring. Now I earned me keep and I paid me way, and I earned the gear that I was wearing. Sailed 1,000,000 miles, caught 10 million fishes. I was following the shoals of herring. Sinead.
To acknowledge a few people who are watching us online. Tommy Lahan, Catherine Shorthall, Nita Conley Cairn, Fergus Carey, Joe O'Connor, Maura Ní Lira, Seamus Shields, Gemma Quawa, back from Ballydehob, obviously, Gemma, Rory Gregg, Maura Ní Buil, Niamh Parsons, Anne Parsons Dunn, Ciara McGeehan, John O'Faolán, Alice Farrell Perlman in New York, and Sean Matthews. Thank you for looking in us. Now, our next three singers are Noel Bailey, who is part of our Drogheda contingent, and we have Brenda O'Riordan, and then George Henderson.
Okay, I'll try. I wasn't going to sing this tonight, folks, but the Drogs done again tonight. We got a point, so. It was a pretty good game today. It was a pretty good game today. We could have won by 2 or 3. All the lads were there, even Cousin Joe and Steve, and old Bob sitting at the end. What a foul mouth that man's got. When we nicked the goal from the penalty spot, I swear he was gonna get shot. Well, thanks for me half-time pie. Cousin Joe says thanks for his scone. I didn't have a go at the half-time draw, 'cause the odds were 10,000 to 1. For old Bob sitting at the end puts his fivers on each week, and when we asked him what the heck he did this for, he said, son, one day you'll see. You take the long shot, if that's all there is, and you put it in a very safe place where you can't get to it, 'cause once you're certain that all hope is gone, a long shot is better than none. It was a shocker of a game today. The lads, they huffed and puffed, but 3-0 down at the half-time break, I knew we were going to get stuffed. But old Bob stuck it out to the end, and when we nicked 2 quick goals in, the keeper ran out to the halfway line, and you should have heard old Bob sing, you take the long shot, if that's all there is, and you put it in a very safe place where you can't get to it, 'cause once you're certain that all hope is gone, a long shot is better than none. It was a quiet old game today. We haven't seen Bob for a month, but everyone knows he's not coming back, but a seat's still never been touched. Cousin Joe says he's heard the worst, that he's finally popped his socks, but I reckon the sod won the half-time draw. Now he sits in the corporate box. He took the long shot. He took the long shot. It was a critical game today. We got thumped 7-0, but if there was a prize for the best own goal, I think we'd be in with a shout. Cousin Joe was miserable as sin, and Steve says he's gutted too, but I reckon the sod and Steve says he'd gutted too. Sorry for that. Anyway, we'll take the long shot, if that's all there is, and you put it in a very safe place where you can't get to it, 'cause once you're certain that all hope is gone, a long shot is better than none. A long shot is better than none. Stop for a minute.
Pleasant summer's morning, as the wee birds all were singing, oh, and nature was adorning, and the flowers they were springing, oh, I met my love Daphne to Bambridge town, my charming blue-eyed Sally, oh. She's the queen of the county down, and the flower of Maharal, oh. With admiration I did gaze all on this fair-eyed maiden, oh, and Adam never saw more grace when he spied Eve in Eden, oh. Her cheeks were like the lily white that blooms in yonder valley, oh. She's my queen and my heart's delight, and my flower of Maharal, oh. Her bonnet with 3 ribbons strung, her shoes of Spanish leather, oh, her golden hair in ringlets hung, her scarlet cap and feather, oh. Like Venus bright she did appear, my charming blue-eyed Sally, oh. She's the girl that I love dear, my flower of Maharal, oh. An Irish lad although I be, with neither wealth nor treasure, oh, but yet I love my darling girl, I love her beyond all measure, oh. And if I had the wealth that's possessed, all by the great Tirali, oh, I'd give it to her that I love best, my flower of Maharal, oh. I hope the day will surely come when we'll hold hands together, oh, and I'll bring home the girl I love in spite of wind and weather, oh. And let them say what they will, and let them storm and wally, oh, for I will wed the girl I love, my flower of Maharal, oh.
Well, those of you who were here last week will remember that there was a little theme of mining songs came up, and Jerry asked me to follow it, and I couldn't think of the first line of any one of them. So I have to put the record straight. And you're going to get 2 short ones instead of 1. From the Elliots of Berkeley. Robert the bank, me canny lads, winder away, keep turning. The backshift men are ganning yem, they'll be back here in the morning. Me father used to call the tone when the lang shift it was awa, and gannood by you'd hear him cry, you know it's after 4. He went Robert the bank, me canny lads, winder away, keep turning. The backshift men are ganning yem, they'll be back here in the morning. Well, then that awful day arrived, the last shift for me father, a fall of stones and broken bones. But then amidst the clatter, he went Robert the bank, me canny lads, winder eat slow, that's clever. This poor old lad is taken bad, he'll be back here never. And it's jowl, jowl, and listen, lads, you'll hear the cold face walking. There's many's a marrow missing, lads, because he wouldn't listen, lads. Me father always used to say, pit walks more than Ewan. You've got to coax the coal along, not be riving and chewing. So jowl, jowl, and listen, lads, you'll hear the coal face walking. There's many a marrow missing, lads, because he wouldn't listen, lads. The deputy crawls from flat to flat, the putter rams the chummins, and the lad at the face has to gnaw his place, like a mother gnaws her young'uns. So jowl, jowl, and listen, lads, you'll hear the cold face walking. There's many's a marrow missing, lads, because he wouldn't listen, lads.
The younger generation are going to jump in here. We've got Joe Boyle from Tip and Declan Coles from New York, and then Michael King is going to sing the third song. So, Joe first.
On Tip, I'm going to con Aaron Keep Us Gaeilge, called Eleanor Arun. Mo rá den chéadé chant má hel nóir mójún né sort a bhím as muoinú Tramim naher mahov No magra dan tilo mochetiar Sto is the shad no banejan Sovereign the sok Sto is the sharpness milch folk Skon so zet sabio began almert Maristas mar joling nagon lat Nor norun Vi boche kom ya loshi No yin lay on ground Svi boche katoshi Non chor fois on mas Dwi bo welach no knieżyn She gra mo krio mojetark Sovereign da sok Stu is the sharpness milch folk Na skont vahet sabau began almert Maristas mara joling na gaun lat Na hela nor mojurhun Santo Hito Novanio Na hela noizun No na no fonte na ganeo Na chwyd molstris molstors. No tiolchaig mei alpnei anei mei. Smad non chantei no ganei mei. Savernjelina da solk, stolis da shadnes min shefol. Skon så azet sabal began amart. Majestas smart of hjoling na gaune light. Motorhorn. Sjung F.
I have to follow that. Jeez. As I roved out on one bright May morning. Oh no, can I redo that? Yeah. As I roved out on one bright May morning, to view young meadows and flowers gay. Who should I spy but my own true lover, as she sits under yon willow tree? Well, I tipped my hat and I did salute her. I did salute her most courageously, but she turned to me and the tears fell from her, saying, "False young man, you've deluded me." Well, a diamond ring I own I gave her, a diamond ring for her right hand. Well, the vows we've made, you've went and broke them, for you've married the lassie who has the land. Well, if I marry the lassie who has the land, my love, it's that I'll rue till the day I die. When misfortune falls, sure no man denies it. I was blindfolded, I'll ne'er deny. Well, at night as I lay in my bed of slumber, well, thoughts of my true love dance in my mind, when I turn to her to embrace my darling. Well, instead of gold, it is brass I find. Well, I wish the Queen would call home her armies from the West Indies, America, and Spain, and every man to his wedded woman. For to be truthful he must remain, as I roved out on a bright May morning.
Who's going next?
Thanks very much, cheers. Thanks for the compliment, Frank, to include me in the young category.
Young-ish.
Yeah, if I doubled my age, I wouldn't be far off 100. So anyway, but I'd like to formally welcome my being Drogheda born, bred and buttered. I'd like to formally welcome, living in the Big Smoke now, but formally welcome the lads from Drogheda up. So I'm in great company tonight.
Company here every night.
I am in great company every night, that's true. I am, but I have to say I'm in better company tonight. No, but I'm in great company every night I come to the Góilín. I'm in great company. I will say that for sure.
Savage loves his name.
That's it. But you can take the Drogheda man out of Drogheda, you know. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm just coming out of a bit of a chest infection, so I'm yeah. So, but I'm 2 or 3 weeks out of it. But like, so I'm going to pick one that's a little bit easier for me to sing than normally. But anyway, so here we go. Well done to the young lads as well now. When I was a young man, I carried me pack, and I lived the free life of the rover. From the Murray's green basin to the dusty outback, I waltzed my Matilda all over. Then in 1915, me country said, son, it's time to stop rambling, there's work to be done. And they gave me a tin hat, and they gave me a gun, and they sent me away to the war. And the band played waltzing Matilda as the ship pulled away from the quay. Well, amid all the tears, flag waving and cheers, we sailed off for Gallipoli. Well, it's well, I remember that terrible day when our blood stained the sand and the waters, and how in that hell they called Suvla Bay we were butchered like lambs at the slaughter. Johnny Turk, he was ready, he primed himself well, he rained us with bullets and he showered us with shell, and in 5 minutes flat we were all blowing to hell. He nearly blew us back home to Australia. And the band played waltzing Matilda as we stopped to bury our slain. Well, we buried ours and the Turks buried theirs, and then it started all over again. Well, for 10 weary weeks, those who were living just tried to survive in that mad world of blood, death and fire. And for 10 weary weeks I kept myself alive when all around me the corpses piled higher. And then a big Turkish shell knocked me arse overhead, and when I awoke in me hospital bed, I saw what it had done, and I wished I was dead. I never knew there was worse things than dying. For no more I'll go waltzing Matilda all around the green bush far and near. For to hump tent and pegs a man needs both legs. There'll be no more waltzing Matilda for me. Well, they collected the wounded, the crippled, the maimed, and they shipped us back home to Australia. The armless, the legless,
the blind and the insane, those proud wounded heroes of Suvla. And when the ship pulled into Circular Quay, I looked at the place where me legs used to be, and thank God there was no one there waiting for me to grieve and to mourn and to pity. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as they carried us down the gangway. Well, nobody cheered, they just stood there and stared, and then they turned all their faces away. Well, now, every April I sit on me porch and I watch the parade pass before me. I see me old comrades, how proudly they march, renewing their dreams and past glories. I see the old men, all tired, stiff and worn, those weary old heroes of a forgotten war. And the young people ask, what are they marching for? And I ask myself the same question. And the band plays Waltzing Matilda, and the old men still answer the call. But year after year, their numbers get fewer. Someday no one will march there at all. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, who'll come a waltzing Matilda with me? As the toasts can be heard as they march by the billabong. Oh, who'll come a waltzing Matilda with me? Sinead.
Guest, Sean Faulkner.
We'll try and get this ship nearly sunk at the first go this time. Attend you on his bearings until I do relate a tale most melancholy on our most dreadful fate. And when that you have read the lines that now employ my pen, I hope that you will shed a tear if you be Irishmen. It was on the good ship Newry on the 14th of April. Our anchor weighed in Warren Point to leave our native isle. The weather it was clear and calm for the first day or so, but early the next morning the gales began to blow. Our captain's name was Crosby, a hero stout and bold, and our passengers 400 were in steerage and the hold, and all of them respectable and reared most tenderly. For Quebec we were bound, me boys, that place of liberty. At sunset the same evening we approaching the Welsh coast, where I am sorry to relate full many's a ship was lost, The winds they blew tremendous and loud did roar the wave. We did not know we were so close unto that fatal shore. All day we had been tacking for to withstand the gale, and we neither could make any way nor carry any sail. When I am sorry to relate, our ship it struck a rock and woke us from our slumbers all by that dreadful shock. With children crying bitterly as they clung around our necks, and in the wildest of despair we jumped upon the decks. The ladders they were broken all by the heavy press. More than 200 were below, so think on their distress. Both from above and from below, our ship was filling fast, expecting every minute that it would be our last. No aid to those who were below, their precious lives to save. It was a sad and hapless day that they met our watery grave. The people on Carnarvon Bay, they heard our dismal cries, and for our preservation a way they did devise. A rope unto our ship was passed, by which they saved our lives, and by that means they did rescue our children and our wives. The waves that night our gallant ship into pieces they did pound. We found the bodies next morning scattered on the sands around. It was a dreadful sight to see the fragments of a wreck, and all that it intended for to carry to Quebec. May the Lord have mercy on them souls who perished on that night. All 235 of them, some of them heroes bright, and 100 blessings attend to them on sweet Carnarvon Bay, who have subscribed to send us on unto America. Talk of heroes, oh, for Nelson, I must disagree. Sing the praise of Alexander, he's no earthly use to me. For here we only have one hero, one hero of great fame, never failing in his duty. Listen and I'll tell to you his name. Endless drawings, countless sketches on my window pane. Master craftsman, skilled engraver, Jack Frost is his name. From the cold wastes of Siberia, every winter he has come, never failing in his duties, till the winter storms have gone. Flew the eagle into Moscow, sure in its defeat. Ran the bear and sprang the winter, sound the grand retreat. From the cold wastes of Siberia came the hero of my tale. 300,000 came to Moscow to perish in the blizzards and the gales. Endless drawings, countless sketches on my window pane. Master craftsman, skilled engraver, Jack Frost is his name. Okay, this song was written by a man called Thomas O'Brien from Julianstown, just outside Drogheda. Dave O'Connor knows the song, sings some of his songs. Man not very well known even in Drogheda for his songs. I won't, I'm being told don't be talking too much, Sean, but this man deserves kind of mention in the pantheon of singers and songwriters from Drogheda. This is a song he wrote in a lengthy essay that was serialised in the Drogheda Independent in 1907, and he was talking about the demise of County Meath, you know, in terms of its ability to feed itself, you know, and produce produce. He wrote this song about it anyway. It has, I suppose, resonance with Drogheda in the sense that one of the people referred to in this song, in the early part of the song, is a descendant of Hugh de Lacy, you know, who established Drogheda, and we have a bridge named after him, and it'll be called the Hugh de Lacy Bridge if Michael Houlihan has anything to do with it, and us common natives who just call it the de Lacy Bridge will have to go along with Michael. This is about a battle in 1264 down in Brosnan, where we gave the Brits a bit of a thanking. A deadly oath Sir John de Lisle, the Norman Baron, swore that he would hunt MacLaughlin's clans and he'd plunder Tullamore. He called his chiefs and troopers down, and he proudly rode away to where the Brosna River flows, and the Irish chieftains allay. All in the wood woods that summer's day, as slowly sank the sun. With the ready arms and naked blades stood soldiers many's the one, and horse and harness rider wait, and they watch with eager eye, for to see if on the evening breeze the Norman banners fly. Along the river's grassy banks, all in his pride appears, that fast and furious Norman knight, flanked by 1,000 spears. And 'tis a godly sight to see their banners broad displayed, as the last parting sunbeams gleam on helm and battle blade. Along the river's grassy bank they rush with headlong speed, and o'er the green and the mossy sward fast flies the willing steed. They reach the Brosna's narrow ford, then each horse and rider's reins their utmost strength to breast the tide, the further side to gain. But from the woods that lined the banks came rushing to the strand full thrice 300 armed men, MacLaughlin's Irish clans. They headlong rush the Norman troops, still battling with the tide, which swollen now o'erflows its banks, and bursts on either side. And brightly the Irish accents gleam on cuirass and on crown, and pierce through helmets, brain and mail, the Norman knights go down, and beaten backwards by the blades that round them brightly gleam. One half their bravest soldiers fall and perish in the stream, and those who make the further bank in horror and despair spur hard and fast to reach their forts and their strongholds in Kildare. MacLaughlin's clan with sword and axe they quickly them pursue, and rings upon the evening breeze their fierce and loud boom. The river banks are strewn with gore, and purple is the tide, and all around the sward is red with the blood of foam and tide, and near and far lie heaped and strewn upon the Brosna shore the braggart Norman knights who came to plunder Tullamore. I'm going to finish off now with probably my favourite song. it's an English song, but it has Irish connections in the sense that it was first recorded, by Seamus Ennis for the BBC in 1952. When he recorded Jim Copper of the Copper family singing this song. The song, anyway, I'll sing it, On Monday morning we did set sail, the wind it blew a pleasant gale, for to fight the French it was our intent, through smoke and fire, through smoke and fire, and it was a dark and a gloomy day. Brave General Wolfe to his men did say, come lads and follow without delay to yonder mountain that is so high. Don't be downhearted, don't be downhearted. Old England, she will win the day. The French were landed on mountains high, while we poor souls in the valley lie. Cheer up, me lads, General Wolfe did say, brave lads of honour, brave lads of honour. Old England, she will win the day. The very first broadside we gave to them, we wounded 150 men. Well done, me lads, General Wolfe did say, brave lads of honour, brave lads of honour. Old England, she will win the day. The very first broadside they gave to us, they wounded our general in his right breast, and from his wound precious blood did flow, like any fountain, like any fountain. And all of his men, they were filled with woe. It's 16 years since I first began to serve with honour for our King John. You commanders do as I've said before, be a soldier's friend, be a soldier's friend, and they will fight forevermore. Here's 100 guineas, all in bright gold. Take it and part it for my blood runs cold. and lead your men like I've said before. They're soldiers all, they're soldiers all, and they will go and win the day. And when to England you do return, tell all my comrades I am dead and gone, and tell my tender old mother dear that I am dead, oh, that I am dead, oh, and never will see her no more. Thank you very much.
Yeah, super singing of super songs. Well done, Sean. I really enjoyed that. We're going to finish up. I want to sing a song about a hero of the Northeast, a polar hero, needless to say. And then Maura Nicroni will, our first singer, will sing the last song in the tradition of the club. This song is called Lament for Francis Crozier, who is from Banbridge in County Down. Of King William Island, winter darkness was over. Brave Crozier led his men, in search of fresh food. What they're starting that off from? We're going to start again. Of King William Island, winter darkness was over. Brave Crozier led his men, in search of fresh food. 22nd of April, his ship they deserted. Oh, terror, his pride was beset towards its doom. Oh, what hardship and pain did your poor seamen suffer, Lord Franklin, to die on your ship so secure. Scurvy and starvation, those sailor privations, broke stout-hearted men on Cape Felix shore. Oh, why was it so young from your loved ones you parted, from the banks of the Bann, on the Mourne mountain side, where the granite walled fields are so filled with potato? Oh, to die in the land where the great white bear rose. Did you dream of sweet Sophie, who won your heart in Tasmania? Or was your heart broken before you did sail? Oh, cold nights in your cabin neath the great bare constellation. Oh, no place for a man with deep hurts and wounds. God rest Francis Crozier, gallant captain of terror. In terra incognita you discovered new lands. Oh, with Ross and with Franklin your name lives forever. An explorer and sailor of great fame and renown. Oh, the Northwest Passage, its route you discovered, but the ice it beset you, and you could not get free. Oh, you starved on the banks of Bach's great fish river. Oh, the passage, oh, it led you to heaven's green shore. Francis Crozier.
So, what might happen now? This is not unrelated, I suppose, in the sense that it's another perspective on adventure. Across the wine-dark sea spreads the rosy-fingered dawn. It lights your eyes with longing, but still you linger on. Day after day, Ulysses, the sands of time run through. Go back to sea, it's in your heart. I will wait for you. By the sandy cove, the black ship waits from year to year. White sails at the ready, and all the rowing gear. Day after day, Ulysses, the lotus blooms for you. The siren's silken singing shadows everything you do. And in the warm still night I hear you pacing in the hall. I know your mind is flying where the long waves rise and fall. Day after day, Ulysses, I feel you slip away. In my eyes the sting of tears, in yours the salt sea spray. You're not the kind of man to be content with what you've done. Others wait for guidance, you reach for the sun. Day after day, Ulysses, you study the changing skies, waiting for the goddess who smiles with flashing eyes. In all the songs and tales, you are the undefeated man. But life is not a game of catch me if you can. Day after day, Ulysses, the days slip by so fast. Their finest colors fade into a landscape of the past. Across the wine-dark sea spreads another rosy dawn. It lights your eyes with longing, but still you linger on. Day after day, Ulysses, the sands of time run through. Go back to sea, it's in your heart. I will wait for you.
Thank you very much, everybody. thanks particularly to Sean, a wonderful night. And the Drogheda contingent, of course, and great night. Next week is the last night of the Góilín season. Willie week is the day after, so and of course the Dubs are playing tomorrow, you know. Anyway, look at next week is the last week. We'll try and make it a great night, and to all the people online, thanks very much for watching in, and Iowa.